Hello for now, my name is Czekolad. I'm here with Georgia Troubling Paras, and we just saw...
Excandra's gonna love that.
I'm sure he will. The best possible start to this group, to this week 2, and I'm hoping that the next game is going to be just as good. A Girl Rogue versus Suppup, because all of a sudden, this group has been thrown into disarray.
Yeah, and if Suppup had a chance for a reverse sweep, it starts now. There's no bad days, there's no bad games. They need to make a statement. They managed to go 3-3 in the spring split. They managed to turn it around, couldn't quite make it. Here, they're making a case to actually make it because the group is completely wide open. I don't necessarily see many teams going to 4 wins other than Movistar. So they do have their chance into making an upset and making it out. Oh, wow.
Yep.
I think Zanzarah has made a big case with that blue first pick Szygenda.
Yep, and you got to imagine that either they first pick or they ban the Shen here just because it's such a flex for Rogue. Of course, Zanzarah, really big fan of it. To my knowledge, also the first to pick it up in like a major way. And of course, PTA Shen has now swept the Rift, has been an incredibly successful pick recently. And it's just yet another reason why you should watch the RLs. And Caitlyn getting bent away. So that, to me, signals a Shen first pick as the Hackering gets taken away. And the EBL has had a bit of a rough go, but the individual level of play
I'll call you Prophet
can still be there.
Chronicler.
I mean, this was not that hard to call, right? It shouldn't be.
I think it made sense the second Szygenda was banned and Gangplank was banned. You're like, what else are you going to play, you know?
I wonder, especially against
It's
Rogue.
kind of weird to me, though, because they're mad respecting the fact that the Shen is not just an amazing Zanzarah pick, it's a triple flex as well. And you don't want to have to deal with that, especially when you're on blue side and you're going to get counter pick and you also have to guess. But what I really like here is the response straight away with the Sett. Sett, we were looking at a lot of replays from Sett and we're like, I don't know if it's the player or just the champion is absolutely broken, because I feel like Sett is one of the strongest champions in the meta right now. He can go in the jungle, bot, top, triple flex as well. Rogue love to do that, and also with an Orianna next to him, he can literally go anywhere. Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Put Szygenda on the carry, please.
Yes, but no.
We love to see it. We love to see it because, let me tell you, we talked a little bit about Suppup. Of course, klowny had an amazing game last time. We've seen Lukezy try to kind of get the team on his back. It's the individual performance that we look for the EBL. But for Rogue, everyone on the team is really good, don't get me wrong. But if there's one player that you should be looking out for, it's got to be Szygenda, because
But
that
I have
man
my cheat sheet here.
has the highest
Top
KDA
Yeah.
in the highest tournaments.
12.7. And we researched that the second one was Aggressivo,
With
8.6.
Yeah, 8.6, 8.7, which is still absurd. You're a top laner.
If the 8.6 is absurd, Szygenda with the 12.7. This
Case in point.
This guy is insane, yeah.
Yeah.
And Woolite on his Ezreal. We were talking about, we're like, does Woolite choose to play on the Ezreal because it's a more laid-back pick? You know, Trymbi can actually roam the map, can influence the map together with Zanzarah. They can roam forward towards mid for Czekolad, which is a big carry for the team as well. Sure, it's a safe pick, but I feel like Woolite really excels on that champion.
It just creates so much safety, right? It's a pick that you can leave alone in a lane, you can invest resources in, you can basically do anything that you'd personally like. As we get a lot of jungle bans here.
I think this is a Zanzarah pick in the jungle, the Sett. Seeing how they banned the Kassadin instead of picking it together with an Orianna, which would have been a great match.
Kha'Zix.
The Kha'Zix, yeah, not the Kassadin. Close enough.
I mean,
they both come from the Void, right?
Yeah, look, they're both purple. Lukezy has played
They come
the
from the
Kassadin
Void.
as well.
Yeah.
It works. It works. It's close enough. As Nidalee gets taken away, the Yuumi, just to make sure that as for a Yuumi, there can be quite a nuisance of a combination to play against, is taken off the table.
I don't think it's going to be a Yuumi. Usually Woolite is left in his own devices down the bot lane.
It's banned, right?
Yeah, even if it wasn't, you'd be like, nah.
I don't expect it to.
I just want something Romy. Like, you'd see a Thresh, maybe a Nautilus, a Leona, Rakan coming in. This is a Trymbi pick. I love that.
He played it before, and it looked amazing then as well. And the combination of the engagers from the Sett with the Rakan were quite the menace back then.
The bowl with the Rakan?
Oof. Just a lot of really nice combinations here coming out from Rogue. And let's be clear, Ultraliga, especially Kick and Rogue, are both still looking as good as they did last split.
You take out the results from Pompa, the Ultraliga is 4-2 right now.
Pompa having a little bit more of a rough go, but don't undersell them, because if I know, we just saw third seed still doing great.
We'll see them on Friday. We'll see
exactly.
them on Friday.
They might be up for a revival. But Rogue and Kick are both still looking absurdly good.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I was very worried. I'm like, I'm seeing all this peel, I'm seeing all this support. Where is the carry? I was starting to sweat there a little bit, but it is going to be Spooky in the jungle. Spooky has been one of the best players for Suppup, if you will, in the terms of carry potential. Because you see a lot of times with Suppup, what we really had that was a problem for them was the messy drafts. We didn't know exactly what they wanted to execute on. Sometimes they were picking too hard to execute compositions. They had a clear plan, they weren't following it. Here the plan is extremely clear. Keep the Graves alive, get the Graves farmed, wherever he gets engaged on, Shen ult, Galio ult, Senna ult.
Get the one more combo in, make sure
I
that...
don't know if his Graves will ever die.
Yeah.
Knowing a go Rogue, he probably will.
Yeah, because Rogue is really, really good. And to get that put on the Mordekaiser here...
He's pulling the Tolkien special.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a pick that can say, no, Shen, you're not going anywhere. You're staying here with me in the Death Realm, then it is, of course, a Mordekaiser. And especially, honestly, it doesn't really matter what Szygenda picks. You could pick Sign, I would still be like, okay, you got to watch that top lane, because I cannot oversell how good this man is. And it's a testament to how good Rogue as a whole is, that we focus so much on Szygenda, but you can make the case for Woolite, you can make the case for Zanzarah, who's shown he can draft off meta.
I'll pick Czekolad. Czekolad on that Azir was like mind-blowing.
And that's the point. And even in a team that good, even in a team that made
I'm sorry, but even
semis
Trymbi is insane.
Right? And even in a team with that many talented players, Szygenda has time and time again shown that he is just something else. Is there going to be the case this time, whether or not, or is Suppup going to find the play here? Are they going to be able to find the upset? Because, I mean, the day started with an upset, they might as well continue it. Whether or not that's going to be the case, I'm not entirely sure. And if it does happen, it's going to have to come from the individual performances. But then look at what we see here from Suppup, and there is cohesion, but it's not an individual type of comp.
I think it is a very team-fighting kind of comp.
Yep.
But what really scares me here is how Rogue want to fight grouped up. Like the Rakan wants to get a multi-man ulti, then the Trusha barrage will fall, then the Orianna ulti, the Sett, everyone follows through. And if you look at Suppup, it's all about Spooky getting engaged on, and then everyone jumps on him. The Shen, the Galio, which means they will be grouped up. And that is a big telltale for later on to just see how these fights will go. Are you going to be able to save Spooky, or are you going to be too grouped up for Rogue to execute their composition even easier? And one more question mark just to keep for the later on fights. If Szygenda ults Spooky, who's going to do damage from Suppup?
I think that's a question at Suppup you'd rather not think about.
Yeah.
Because it does
That's
not...
why I left it on a question mark. I'm like, yeah, let's just wait and see.
It's fine. Just Spooky, just get...
It's fine. Don't think about it.
Just get a QSS. just pay the tax. Pay your bills. Get the QSS.
Pay your bills.
Yeah. Get the QSS in, and you'll feel a little bit less scared.
Pay your taxes.
Yeah, maybe. I'm looking at someone for Suppup that can buy a McHale's, but it's not really looking that good. Zanzarah gets spotted on the ward.
Did he get spotted? I don't think so. Oh yeah, they okay.
Yeah.
They pinged him. Okay.
They know. And of course, Sett.
The Suppup bot lane instantly has to respect that. They saw him. TasteLess, you're not respecting that hard.
Yeah,
they thought he was at the red buff.
He's still going to go forward, and TasteLess is getting taken fairly low, and it's not really how you want to start the lane. Although Zanzarah doesn't find an actual kill, it's still a lot of pressure coming through here to the Suppup bot lane.
But this way, you're making it much easier for Trymbi and Woolite, because with TasteLess being that low, that means that you can't be that hard engaged that your team needs on that bot side, because the second you go in, if you're too low and you get hit by too many spells from the Ezreal and the Rakan, you will most likely be going down. So that was a good one. We've seen Zanzarah sort of peeking the tanks. He falls behind, but he's mostly the facilitator for his team. He'll play the tanks to try and engage, create the room and space for his team to play around, and here's what he's doing. He's doing the same here as well. Same with the blue pick, first pick Szygenda. It worked out for them. Now, I do like what klowny is doing. He's going in to check. He doesn't necessarily have a ward. Oh, he left it over our golems. Fair enough. I'm like, where did that ward go? I can't see from that far away.
Yeah, it's just
maybe
sure.
I need glasses.
Yeah. Maybe you need some wards.
I need some glasses.
Yes. I mean, I was trying to keep it legal today, but maybe you do need glasses. That's
I do.
okay. Well, I know wards are cheap, I know glasses aren't cheap, so that's a bit unfortunate for you, as Zanzarah is just going to leisurely make his way through his own jungle, and Rogue also sending me some signals that they don't want to fight. Czekolad just buying a coal, first item, going for the cookies as well, just taking it easy here.
What I'm seeing here is that both teams aren't necessarily going to look to fight here. They're going to look for priority and trying to get that farm onto the junglers. If we're talking about this, then it's Spooky who's going to come up on top because he just wants to be unbothered and farm as much as possible to be that carry that his team needs. On here, talking about not wanting to engage.
TasteLess gets taken fairly low, but it's still a Leona, very tanky, and doesn't have to be too
afraid. He doesn't have pots. That is the domino effect we've been talking about. Yeah. Zanzarah took all of his pots by getting him so low, and now both VZZ and TasteLess have to respect the fact that they could get engaged at any time.
You be careful, and there is a lot of these trades going on. It's a little bit of back and forth, but as you said before, neither team really looking to do anything early game. Who benefits that more? Because I look at two team compositions that, to me, they just want to like get their spikes and then just start brawling, 5 versus 5.
The thing here is that are we going to have the nameplates on? Because I see a goal roll with Woolite on the Ezreal where he appears with 4-3 items later on and he's an absolute god on the champion. Czekolad onto the Orianna. And I'm like, if you let these guys farm unbothered, if you give them items, you're absolutely screwed later on. Lukezy, he doesn't even have to be later on. He's screwed right now.
It's a flash for flash. Czekolad trying to get the kill, but at the very least will relieve Lukezy from his flash, meaning that any follow-up gank is going to be a lot more careful here. Careful, or scary?
Careful. I like that.
Yeah, I can do that. It's not English, not my main language. I can get away with it. It's fine. Let's not go into it too much. As a rogue,
careful. I'm gonna use that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. Now the EBL, as we said before, they're a region that, at least in this EU Masters, has looked the best on an individual level. When it came to draft coherency, when it came to like cohesiveness as a team, they've really struggled. And as a sole representative, there's of course a lot of pressure here on Suppup. Whereas Rogue, they took that one loss, which was kind of heartbreaking against Movistar, but in the end, it wasn't that hard for them to take the other games on.
See, with Suppup, I'm just left with so many question marks because, like you mentioned, the individual talent is there. VZZ, the MVP in his region. Lukezy, one of the best performing, Balkan mid laners we've seen. Klowny is actually a veteran in the Balkan scene. And TasteLess, the daddy of Balkan Esports, joining the team. Spooky and insane talent too. So the talent is there. The knowledge is there. It's just them not meshing very well together, and it raises a lot of questions because you're like, it's almost the exact same roster as Energy Pot in Spring Split that almost made it out of groups. There were 3-3 in their groups, and here they look like a team that's just not cohesive enough, and you gotta ask yourself why.
It's a question.
I'm asking you why, Chronicler.
Yep. That's very nice of you, but I don't have an answer to that. I am not that privy to what's happening for the team internally. And of course, always only a glimpse. Zanzarah gets away with a blue buff and proc his Nimbus Cloak and run leisurely away. And this is something that I think even at the highest level of play you can sometimes see where 5 good players don't make a good team. And I think that might very well be a problem that Suppup need to solve. And they don't have a lot of time. They've had a week off. But is that enough?
I think with teams in ERLs, and we've even seen teams in big leagues struggle with, is finding the identity of every player in a specific team. Are you going to be the carry? Are you going to be the support? We've seen a lot of ADCs move into the supportive ADC position because you have a hard carry elsewhere on your map, either your mid lane, your jungle, your top. And I feel like here, Suppup haven't necessarily decided what each player is going to have as a role within the role on the map. And I really hope they have found it because they're putting a lot of resources on Spooky. We really built Spooky up in the first week of groups. And right here, he's got all the tools. He's got all the help from his team to try and carry this.
Meanwhile, Rogue is chilling. They're giving up this Infernal Drake. Doesn't look like they want to contest. Not hitting some crucial spike. Almost get the steal. Just looking cute there. A nice Trusha barrage from Woolite. But in the end, won't be enough. And I'm looking at the inventory, and I kind of get that they don't want to fight.
Too many tears. A call on the Orianna. We get it, Czekolad. We get it.
She's like, nah, not feeling it.
See you in 40 minutes, mate.
And then the question becomes, is Suppup going to match the raw power of Rogue later in the game? Or are they going to accelerate before Rogue is really ready?
I feel we're talking carries versus carries. I'm looking at Spooky, and then it's going to be VZZ, but it's not going to be a hard carry onto the Senna. It's going to be all about Spooky and how he can maneuver himself around a fight with the help of his team. So if we're talking about execution, I feel Suppup's execution is going to be much harder, especially when you put the Mordekaiser into the mix, who you never know who he's going to take out. He takes Spooky out, you've lost all your damage. It's gone. It's done.
I wasn't joking when I said I think Spooky needs to get, like, I don't think second item, but like definitely third item. Like, you need the QSS.
Yeah.
Because you're so pivotal for your team, and if you're gone, then
right now, though,
good
you're
luck.
chilling.
Yeah.
Because you got the first Infernal Dragon, so you don't care
rush.
about Rogue stuck in the map, exactly. And you see that priority has been won around. Rogue does definitely not want to run into a Shen ult plus Galio ult plus Senna ult at this point. They don't have the damage, they don't have the items to fight that, so they're just giving room to Suppup to do whatever they want on the map.
Zanzarah flashes in, VZZ needs to be careful, will get face break and slammed into the rest of Rogue, but Rogue now disengaging. The reinforcements have arrived for Suppup, but there's not enough damage available as of yet. Zanzarah gets taken low. It's gonna get tagged, but it's not enough. The shockwave from Czekolad, you absolute monster! And all of a sudden it's looking dire for Suppup as they get taken low. TasteLess is gonna get blown up as well. In the end, Szygenda gets the final auto attack, and it's a 3-for-0, a 2k gold lead, and all of a sudden, Rogue take the lead.
You know what? I think Rogue hurt me. I'm like, there's no way Rogue wanna run into... Oh, Czekolad.
Needs to be careful. Spooky, though, on his own. And there is a lot of damage available here. Phase Rush is procced, and in the end, Spooky finds the Returkle. A little bit over eager there. Great play for the Graves, and that's important gold.
Back at it. I said there's no way Rogue wanna run into a Galio plus Shen plus Senna ult. They were mad enough to do it.
They were baiting it.
They had a call. They've got tiers stacking up, and they're pulling the trigger. They're winning fights they have absolutely no business winning. And this man in that mid lane for Rogue has had such clutch ultimates on whatever champion he's playing. He had a 4-man shockwave in this one, and even though it didn't hurt, because he doesn't necessarily have the items yet for it to hurt, it created so much room and engage for his team to follow through, and also that Mordekaiser is going to be such a huge bully to the Shen at this point.
Yeah, I think...
I mean, Leandry's into what? A Hydra?
Yeah.
A Tiamat, not even a Hydra.
It's like 11 minutes in, you have your tank shredder item against a fairly beefy character.
Against a champion that's meant to be a tank, but he's not even there yet.
Yeah. And we talked about Szygenda. Generally, he's not the guy you want fed, because if he gets fed, Rogue does really, 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 really well, and that might be the road we're heading towards here. But it's just 2k gold, it's one lost fight, and it's not yet over for Suppup.
Check out Spooky.
They need to be really respectful.
I mean, we don't see him now, but he's in the bus.
He's there. He's ready. But Zanzarah also making his way to the bot lane, and Suppup, in the end, is not going to spot Spooky. Trymbi is going to face check him. Will get taken a little bit low, but he can try and disengage, and that's going to be the end of it. Solar Flare doesn't hit. And Rogue could just, okay, cool.
Rakan is too slippery, and TasteLess was a little bit too quick on the trigger. You know that when that Senna root lands, you're going to 100% be able to land the Solar Flare as well. He was a little bit quick on the trigger, didn't manage to get a kill there or force a flash out of Trymbi. And so far, we're talking about an almost 3,000 gold lead, only 12 minutes into the game. We've talked a lot about, you know, Spooky being the carry, and indeed, Suppup has 1 kill, it is on Spooky, but the fact that the Graves is just keeping up or trying to keep up with a Sett in the jungle is not necessarily what you need.
No, because the Graves is an excellent farmer, whereas the Sett...
and a very fast one as well.
Yeah, not as proficient as a Spooky is. Going to get charmed, is going to get knocked up, is going to get blown up in a very nice CC chain coming out from Rogue. Nothing you can do.
And this is where we talked about turning the nameplates on. Because this is a go, Rogue. If you're gonna run just one carry, just a 1-man to try and 1v9, Rogue are gonna single out that 1 man and beat him up. And right now, they didn't care about the first Dragon. They didn't necessarily care about the first Herald either. They just let them go because they know the power lies with them.
All eyes for Suppup really are in the spooky basket unless Lukezy or VZZ could find huge leads. That has not been the case.
I mean, even if they do they have the damage to do that?
I mean, they do now. Or they would if it was early game or mid game.
Yeah.
But now they're behind early game and mid game, and the gold lead is slowly growing. And whereas Movistar, the #1 seed, the SLO, had a really hard time against Gamer Legion, of course, coming from the DAC region, it looks like ROG is much more comfortable in taking their positions as a favorite and showing really why you need to respect the Ultra Liga.
And you know what I really love about ROG? They don't underestimate their opponents. Last time they played against Suppup, they drafted that Szygenda and built a whole team fighting team around it. This time, they've drafted again a team fight oriented team. They don't underestimate Suppup. They're not playing whatever they want just to have fun. They're respecting their opponents. They're playing clean and clear. And it's showing here. Czekolad walking into this game, he's like, I'll just get a call. I don't need to fight.
And as a whole,
I respect that.
Yeah, as a whole, ROG's restraint, I think, is beautiful to watch, especially coming off the game that we just saw, where for Gamer Legion, you get it, right? Because they had a comp that wanted to brawl and brawl and brawl and brawl.
I mean, that's Gamer Legion.
But Movistar didn't necessarily have that as a win condition, as Lukezy is taking a bit of damage. It's fine. It's a nice back cancel. It gets you a little bit of extra leeway in that lane. But ROG is playing so much more restrained to just play, okay, clockwork. Objective, go. Overextension, go, bait out, and demolish. And that's so scary to go up against if you're Suppup, because what you're looking for is the openings, the mistakes, the pile on without there being any retaliation.
ROG are not giving them any.
No, and that's unfortunately for the EBL.
The second you see an Orianna walk into lane with a cog, you're like, oh man.
Oh boy. Yeah, that is.
This guy's not moving underneath his tower until he has 3 items, is he?
And now you'll also see slowly and slowly Zanzarah, even in farm, in a matchup where he shouldn't be.
The Graves should be miles ahead at this point.
Szygenda ahead, 20 CS. Czekolad ahead, 20 CS. Woolite ahead, 10 CS. All in all, the gold scores for ROG are just starting to snowball, and I don't know if Suppup can mitigate, but getting picks like this would be a great way to. But need to be careful.
That's a little bit of poke from Woolite.
Yeah. Oh. He knows it. He had no vision. He just knows and is now stuck underneath the turrets. Again, that does have the teleport available as a Freeman dive does come through it, but they're just going to give Woolite up. Not going to really invest anything in trying to help him. Instead, finding their way across the rest of the map.
But I like that. I like the proactivity coming in from Suppup. That's what they need to do. They need to feed their Graves. You can't wait for ROG to scale. You can't wait for them all these tank items to come in for Zanzarah. Woolite's going to be a mini raid boss at some point, having death stance and a gauntlet on him most likely. He's going to be unkillable, so kill him now before he scales.
Yes, but you gave up first turret blood and a herald.
That's details. Now,
well, we don't talk about those as the dive comes through here. Lukezy is able to flash away and is a little bit of slipperiness. You said before the Rakan.
I'm looking at the positives. That's not going to kill him. I'm looking at the positives. And the thing is that we've criticized Suppup for not pushing the trigger, pressing the trigger, pulling the trigger. There you go. For not pulling the trigger at the right time. And the game goes too late, and then when they pull the trigger, the composition is just not functioning anymore. And here, they're just pulling the trigger super early. Spook is like, I'm diving this. Woolite is all on his own. They're pulling all of his summoners. Sure, they're committing 4 people, but Spook is like, I get to say the final word here.
I love how cool
that
the Graves...
blasted him into another dimension.
I love how cool the Graves skin looks, and then you have like the actual cannonball, and it looks like a rotating, beautiful
And then a poor soccer player, football player, trying to run away.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of discussion regarding the correct nomenclature as...
We're in Europe, so I'm allowed to say football.
I agree with you that what we're seeing here from Suppup is a step forward, because this is a really hard matchup, and this is a team where we were missing the cohesiveness. And even if they're getting outtraded in macro sense, even if Suppup is not going to take the win in the end here, which they still very well might, it's still good to see them play proactive, play cohesively, because that's something we missed in the first week. And it also shows that week break can actually have a big impact on teams.
Yeah, it was the fact that they didn't necessarily have an identity at the start. They might have
And Zanzarah finds a two-man face breaker, and that is going to be the end for Spooky as he gets chased down. But here comes Lukezy, goes for the ultimate. Spooky's still alive here.
That's all the ultimates.
Yeah, that's a lot used, and I don't know if you want to keep re-engaging here. Czekolad not out of fight quite yet. Szygenda is going to be able to find the Death Realm in the end, and against TasteLess, I don't know if TasteLess can do a lot. There's another shockwave. Czekolad, you have absolutely no chill. Szygenda somehow finds the 1v1 kill, and ROG has not lost a single person here. I'm just incredible.
You lost your speed.
Because it's so good. How did they get away with this? It's looking like it's going to be a clean ace here as Czekolad goes in deep. Woolite's flashing forward. Arcane shifts, and that's going to be the end of it. That's a clean ace, and that is the Drake Suppup. They got so close, but how good is ROG?
I think Czekolad is like the biggest BM player while not BMing. He walks in with a call and now he's completely decimated. They're trying to find Spooky. They're forcing every single ultimate in the pockets of Suppup. And when they have nothing anymore to protect Spooky with, they pull the trigger. Lukezy tries to go in and Czekolad is like, I'm here now. Szygenda gets the Leona. He knows he's not gonna kill him, but that 4-man shockwave again. Czekolad! Holy!
Yeah, if you see League of Legends like this, unbelievable. ROG go from a fight that's looking doomed to this. It's incredible. And here it's just a chase down.
Oh, there's more.
Szygenda is going to be found in his own. Doesn't have the Death Realm available, and that might very well be the end of the fat Mordekaiser. And that's a big shutdown going to Lukezy.
They had to pull the Shen ultimate for that, which means that ROG are allowed to try and pull a play somewhere onto the map because there's no teleport at all. But they're starting the Baron. Czekolad has no TPs all the way in the bot lane, and now he's just started moving. Suppup have gotten probably 10 seconds lead here.
Don't have a very fast Baron available though, but if they go for a fight and actually make it work, that would be great. Facemaker comes through on TasteLess, he gets taken low, and in the end is gonna get taken down by Woolite, who goes forward with the Arcane Shift. Shockwave, is it enough to find Spooky? Takes him out of the quick draw, and now the chase comes through yet again as the quickness finds one, finds two, and ROG are looking like the dominant force we expect from the #2 seed of the Ultra League Suppup. It looked so close at times, but it's starting to feel like they're crumbling.
7,000 gold dude right here for ROG, and they're making the case for the first seed of the group. They're catching up to Movistar if they win this. And so far, it's looking like this is what they're going to do. Look at Trymbi, 0-0-11. Look at Czekolad, 7-0-5. These guys have been combining their ultimates to perfection. The patience that I've seen on Trymbi to pull the trigger on that ultimate is insane. He's waiting for the exact correct moment, and we talked about it. The fact that we see klowny using his ultimate just for a pick on the map, ROG would instantly punish that. They would punish them not having the stand united, and so it was.
ROG is so cohesive. It's just a beauty to watch. Look at the KDAs. Look at how evenly they're spread across the entire team.
Man. I'm trying to say, yeah, there's still hope for Suppup, but it's like, I don't know. Run, Lukezy, run.
What can you do when the wallets are this big? He can flash away. And this is what I love to see. You have to hunt it to zero him, though, because he does have the ultimate available. And in the end, we will see klowny going to the Death Realm. That's 4 people. And there is a Baron buff available.
Can he kill him?
Szygenda, are you going to find the kill? It's a 1-for-1 trade. He even sustains more. They need to get back to the base. They can't waste this much time. And in the end, yes, they killed the Mordekaiser. But at what cost?
I mean, they had to sacrifice their Shen, they had to sacrifice their mid lane tier 2, they had to sacrifice their top lane tier 2, they're most likely going to have to sacrifice their base, because ROG having the Baron right here means they can hard push any lane they very well damn please.
And there's so many ultimates still available. We see Czekolad with the Shockwave still there for his team, and they're looking for it. They're hungry. They want to do this. They have traded 1-for-1, and here comes TasteLess on the re-engage. Czekolad immediately finds yet another Shockwave, and so much damage coming through. They don't even get Czekolad. He's still kiting away in the backline, and even though it's a 4 versus 5, ROG does not care. They will take the team fight, and with the Baron buff, I'm sure this is going to be a dominating win for the #2 seed in the Ultra League. They're going to chase down the base. A triple kill for Woolite. And what a masterful performance here from ROG. Suppup came close, at moments, but it wasn't enough.
That is an insane display of raw skill coming in from Rogue. And I feel like, you know what, there might be an in-team vendetta. Czekolad is trying to catch up to Szygenda where it comes to KDA and being the pop-off player. At least he's won that one in my heart.
I mean, if you see Orianna performances like this...
Stop!
It's, guys, it's...
Just stop.
Just...
Stop. What is called beating the dead horse? Just stop doing that.
Yeah.
How did my book get there? Ooh. Come over here.
All in all, Suppup tried, but it is definitely a masterclass from Rogue. And if you're Movistar and you see a Rogue like this looking so clean, looking pristine,
and
knowing
you
what
didn't
the win
look
conditions are.
clean.
No, you did not. I'd be a little bit worried.
Yeah.
Are you?
Oh, you know what? We're going to go on to a very quick break. We're going to come back, break this down. And after that, we have one of the most insane games coming. It's going to be Movistar versus Go Rogue.
Honestly, I can't wait.